Okay, so in this video, we're taking a look at finding and evaluating inverse functions from an algebraic perspective. So on the first problem we have, it says to find a formula for the inverse function that gives Fahrenheit temperature as a function of Celsius temperature. So F as a function of Celsius. So Fahrenheit, so it's going to be Fahrenheit as a function of means equal, and then your answer is going to contain Celsius temperature. So in other words, if I take a look at that, I need to be able to solve for F. So the first thing I'm going to do from an algebraic standpoint is to multiply both sides by 9/5. And when I do that, I'm going to get 9/5 C is equal to F minus 32. And from here, I'm going to add 32 to both sides. So I get 9/5 C plus 32 is equal to F. So I found my formula in terms of Fahrenheit. Well, I'm sorry, in terms of Celsius, so that I can find my Fahrenheit temperature. So over here on the right side, these are just the techniques for you to use in order to find the inverse algebraically. This should be something that's already familiar to you. There's a couple of different strategies, but they're very, very similar. So the first one is just going to have us solve for x, then switch x and y, and then use proper notation. So in other words, if I have this problem right here, f of x is another term for y. So according to the first set, I'm going to solve for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 4. So I get y minus 4 is equal to 2 over x minus 3. I'm going to multiply both sides by x minus 3. When I do that, that means I am going to distribute on the left. So I get xy minus 4x minus 3y plus 12 is equal to, and then these sides cancel and it equals 2. So from here, remember I'm focusing on solving for x. So those guys need to stay, and I need to move everything else over to the other side. So I'm going to add 3y and then subtract 12 to the other side, and then I'm going to get xy minus 4x is equal to 3y, and I'm going to combine positive 2 and negative 12, and I'm going to get negative 10. From here, remember I'm solving for x, so I'm in a position where I can factor out the x. And from there, I'm going to end up dividing by y minus 4. So what I have is x is equal to 3y minus 10 over y minus 4. And then it says to switch the x and the y. So I'm going to have y is equal to 3x minus 10. And then x minus 4. And the very last thing is to make sure that if this is a function, which it is, it's a rational function, then we need to replace y with proper function notation. So in this case, it's going to be f inverse of x is equal to 3x minus 10 over x minus 4. And get to box my answer. So on this one, I'm going to use the other technique, which says to replace x and y at the very beginning. So I'm going to switch that. And then when I switch them, now I get to solve for y. So the first thing algebraically is I'm going to subtract 2. So I get x minus 2 is equal to y minus 4, the square root of that. And then to undo the square root, I need to square both sides. Now it's okay for you to leave x minus 2 squared in that form. And then from here, notice that I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So that's going to give me y is equal to x minus 2 squared plus 4. Now this is a parabola. And so from here, we'll talk about the domain and everything later, but at this particular point, here would be my inverse. F inverse of x is equal to x minus 2 squared plus 4.